Hi friends, it's almost 2020, which means it's time to look at new planners. For 2019, I used the Hobonichi Weeks planner. It's super tiny, as you can see. It's very itty bitty, and I really loved it. I really loved the format, the way that they organized all of the components of the planner, but I really do miss using my bullet journal. And if you don't know, I used a bullet journal for about 2 to 3 years, about 2.5 years before I switched to this, just to try something new, and also because I felt really stressed out about wanting to make my bullet journal perfect all the time, because of social media mostly. So I switched to this, kept it really basic and simple, and I feel like I learned a lot from using it. So I'm actually going back to the bullet journal next year, but I thought I'd walk you through this little Hobonichi Weeks, and then I'll show you what I'm doing for 2020. So first I have a little post-it note, which I don't really use at all. It's to denote how the signifiers in one of my spreads works. But I have this little quote that was sent to me by a very lovely artist on Instagram. I keep it in here because it reminds me to love myself. And then we have these pages, which I never look at. I don't know if people use these. I always used to make them in my bullet journal, and I literally would never use them. So I don't know. I'm not like recreating it for my bullet journal for 2020, but I guess it's a handy guide if you use it. And then this is my incomplete year in numbers spread, which I actually did in my previous bullet journal in 2018 and decided to use this spread for it, and we'll be making one for 2020 as well. But basically it just denotes some statistics for my shop and my Instagram, my social media stuff. So it has like the number of subscribers I have on YouTube, the number of Instagram followers I have, how much I'm making on Patreon and in my shop and stuff. So yeah, and then all of these little stars denote when I post a blog post or a video, when I list a new thing in my shop, and when I make a sale. And then I have all of my calendar doodles, which I do every month. I've been doing these for about 2.5 years now, on and off. I think there's been a couple months that I skipped last year. I really love doing these because they offer a great overview of the month and help me remember all the good things that happened. And I don't draw these every day. I think a lot of people on social media especially think that I draw these every single day, but I don't. I draw them probably once a week, if not even less. For example, we're about to get to December, and you'll see that I have not done any except for the first two. It's actually the 14th right now, or the 15th? I'm not sure. So you can see I have quite a bit missing, but that's okay because I write down little notes every day in my dailies, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and that helps me remember what to draw, or remember things that happened that day so that I know what to draw. And this is a typical daily. So it's fairly bare bones. I have all of my tasks on the weekly page on the left, with a little bit of journaling, which I do in a different colored ink. And then I have goals and to-dos to do that I want to achieve that week, and a little habit tracker. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of decorating, sometimes I won't. For example, all of these are stickers for my Patreon printable, and then these are in my shop. They're my little mood stickers that kind of look like me, but much cuter. I'm not this cute. But yeah, so you can see some weeks are really bare, and then other weeks are less bare. And the problem with the weeks is that it's so small, and so I can't really fit a lot of tasks in if it's a especially productive day. But it's also like a good thing because, you know, I tend to try and give myself too much to do, so this small space limits how much I actually can write down, and so it's more achievable, although sometimes I still don't manage to do everything that I write down. And then this is next week. I'm very excited about my printable that I made for December. I think it turned out really cute. I really like this envelope. And in the back I have not much. I have a product list, which I'm not going to show, but it's a product idea list. And then I always have a reading list. I've been doing reading lists in my bullet journals for a couple years now, and this one is actually a printable that's in my shop. But I think next year in 2020 I'm going to freehand it. Maybe, we'll see. And then I like to write down quotes from the books that I read. This big one is a Michelle Obama quote because I think she's great. But yeah, and then in the back it's empty because I'm not good at using these free papers, which is good to know because I don't need to, reserve that much space for these empty note pages in my bullet journal. So now I can show you how I'm doing my bullet journal for 2020. I am going to be moving into this beautiful traveler's notebook that Alan got for me. I have been wanting one for so many years, and he finally indulged me because he is the best. I'm gonna flip this open and show you how I've had this set up. First, I have an empty folder, which I will be storing stickers and possibly pens if I'm taking this on the go. We'll see. I think my fountain pens do fit in here. I guess we can test. They do. It'll probably end up being a little too chunky for everyday use, but in a pinch, it'll be good. And then in the first insert, I haven't decorated any of the covers yet, but in the first insert, I have my monthly booklet. So first, when you open this up, it's all of these empty calendars that I have set up, and all of these are going to be for my calendar doodles. I liked how in the Hobonichi Weeks I could flip through all 12 at once, so I'm continuing that for 2020. I have these all set up. They're super simple, just grids drawn with a Tombow marker, and then I wrote in all the calendars with a fountain pen. And also for some mess ups, I have some extra paper that I cut up and put and stuck in so you can't see the mess ups. Well, I guess you can kind of see it, but that's fine. It's not going to bother me too much. And then, once you flip through all of these, I have my statistics page. I have here my tracker for Instagram, Patreon, and YouTube. And then I have all the days of the month, 1 through 31. And then at the bottom, I have 3 numbers that I'm going to be tracking: income, spending, and profit. This is just for Cissy's Art Cafe specifically. I do track all of my personal spending in a Google spreadsheet along with my art shop spending and income, but I like having it all in one page together. I think it's nice. So this is how I will be doing monthly spreads. I missed having monthly spreads in my Hobonichi Weeks because I used the monthly spread for the daily doodles, which meant I didn't have a monthly spread to, do any planning in. So now in this bullet journal, I will be able to do both a monthly spread and a, doodle spread. It's gonna be great. Right now I have all of the days of the month listed just in the original bullet journal method. And I also have a little section here that is for my monthly to-dos. I guess it's like big goals that I really want to meet that month. I'm not gonna be doing nitty-gritty planning in here just because there's not a lot of space here. I did that on purpose. I didn't want to give myself too many big goals. It's probably gonna be like make a sweater for Hera or something. Hera's my little sister. And then I have some little bits of journaling here, which is just little notes to myself. One of my goals for 2020 is to be kinder to myself, which I think is a goal every year, but I'm really trying to focus on it in 2020. So every month I'm planning on writing a little letter to myself. I have one written here. It's very cute and small. Well, every month I'm planning on writing a little letter to myself, trying to remind myself to be kind and compassionate, not just with the world and with the people around me, but with myself as well, because that's really important and it's something that I'm not very good at. And yeah, and then I, decorated it a little bit. I didn't really feel like drawing anything, so I just slapped some stickers and, did some scrapbook paper and called it a day. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that every month. I haven't done it for the rest of the months, just because I want to make a new spread every month. And then also I have a couple pages at the end left, which I'll be using for my shop ideas, product ideas, and my reading tracker page. And then this next book, it will be for my weekly and my dailies. So I copied the weekly page from Hobonichi. I have my weekly spread here where I'll be writing the main events, the big things that are happening, the big things that I really want to get to. And then I have a blank habit tracker and a blank goals and to-dos that I've kind of just split in half. Split this page in half. I'll probably do some decorating on this page just because if I'm going to be looking at it every day for 7 days, I'm probably going to want to make it prettier. But for now, it's just really bare bones. And then here, which I've written nothing in because it is not January yet. There is still half a month to January. I'll be doing my dailies, and I really want to go back to doing dailies in a way that I couldn't do it in the Hobonichi just because the space was so limited. But as you can see in some of these pages, like here and like here, it got really cramped. There just wasn't enough space for me to write all of my to-dos down. So I'll be able to write the big goals in my weeklies and then break down those goals and write out more to-dos in my dailies. And I'll also be able to do some journaling, which I did do in my Hobonichi. As you can see, like here I wrote that my packaging stickers arrived and they looked really cute, and I always write a little sentence of what I'm grateful for, which I've been doing for a while just because I figured out that writing down what I'm grateful for makes me a much happier person. I'm not doing it in my weekly anymore because the space was so limited in the weeks that it didn't work out very well. So I'm gonna do them with my dailies. So I'll have my to-dos, and then I'll have, some lines of journaling, and I'll have some gratitude, and it'll give me enough space. I can write however much I want. I can have as many to-dos as I want, which will probably be bad for me, but yeah. And then the last thing that I have in this notebook now is my current sketchbook, which, like this page, which you saw, I hope, in my Taiwan blog. The houses there were so cute. Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to be better about sketching regularly and being more free with it, because I tend to want to make everything a finished piece, which is not really healthy because paintings are never, you need a sketch in order to make something work, you have to like try things out and screw things up before you can make something pretty. Like this, I don't think is very pretty, and like this, the composition's all wrong, but if I ever wanted to paint this scene, I'd have this to reference, which is cool. So I have this, and I also have another insert ready to go. I have this, I have an extra, this is an extra dotted notebook for my dailies that I have ready to go, which I don't know when I'll use up this one, but when I do, I have one ready. And then I also have an extra blank one ready to go for my future sketchbook. I'm thinking about getting a Moleskine, but I feel like that defeats the purpose of having this, compact little, it's not that little, compact traveler's notebook. I also really want to develop like a beautiful patina on this because this is still fairly new and has not developed anything, just some scratches, which are nice also, but someday it will be beautiful, and it is beautiful, but it will be more beautiful. And I also, at some point, I'd like to decorate the covers of these notebooks, mostly because I'm going to need to if I want to remember what they are. But I haven't done that yet, and I don't know if I'm going to do it on camera, so this is just a note of, saying that it will eventually be decorated. But this is the very bare bones of my 2020 setup, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful 2020, and I'm very proud of each and every one of you for making it through the decade. Bye guys.